Alright, welcome to the documentation of my madness. Today we're doing the beginning of a 3-week wave of dynamic effort speed squats. Box squats to be specific, safety squat bar, and chains. 97 pounds of chains to be exact. So this is my, I guess, first warm up with weight. I warmed up with just the chains. So, really loud. It's just kind of my barometer kind of thing. So we'll add what our aim is for today, which is about 200 pounds bar weight. I say about 200 pounds. The bar itself weighs 58, so it's 13 pounds heavier than the standard bar. What we have here kilos. Something like 91 kilograms of bar weight, around 201 pounds, 202, something like that. So we're gonna do 5 sets of 5 and very much focus on explosive power because rate of force development, yeah. I wonder if that's my car alarm going off. I mean, okay. But yeah, sometimes my car alarm just goes off by sheer sound. Okay, so, damn, you know what? This is that one time where I wish I had a camera. I mean, the timer besides the camera. So, speed deadlifts are after this. Then gonna do some reverse hypers, some band leg curls, some sandbag lats. I think that's what I like, you know? So I was training with my coach before. Great. Wesley Dwinski, competitor, world's strongest man, as well as he just got second place in North America's strongest man. And and I believe I can talk this much about the programming without giving away any secrets or whatnot. So I would do sandbags on a different day that I would do legs, as well as not the same day as I do deadlifts. But honestly, I feel like that's honestly a good way of doing it. And also another thing is that I like to break up the movement. And now this goes back to the principles behind the conjugate method, as well as why breaking up the movement into its components is essential, like especially when it comes down to something like Olympic lifting, and that's where a lot of this knowledge actually came from, and it was adjusted to powerlifting. I'm talking about the West Side Barbell method. And because in the clean and jerk and snatch, all those things, you know, it's like someone can be really strong here, have a really strong clean, and then their lockout fails, or their shoulder press. And so, and even just like the clean, where, you know, you can do a normal clean. I'm not an Olympic lifter, so I don't know much about this stuff. Or you can do a full one. So for me, my carrying strength with the sandbag is pretty good. I'll always increase, but I feel like if I increase how fast and how well and how consistently I can pick it up off the ground, that'll gain me more time and strength in general to be able to do more. See, always gotta check. Almost misloaded this by 2.5 kilos. Alright, and welcome to this week's episode of Vegan Strongman, high as fuck in the gym, talking about, you know, things. And you know what, just because I'm not the strongest doesn't mean you should discount intelligence. Reset my feet. Felt like pretty good speed. All right. Now we're gonna smoothly see if I can actually pull off a minute rest. Speed, as I said, so this is like 300 pounds at the top. It's less though because some of the chains are on the ground, but it does certainly apply some accommodating resistance. I really like it. I've actually never used 2 sets of chains at the same time, so this is the first time I actually feel the chains do something. You know, going off of what I've learned from Louis Simmons, researching the West Side Barbell method, as well as many other awesome people out there. So we had to see what time it was. Lucas Hatton. This is what's gonna increase everything for a strongman for me. Every single lift, because of especially the intention of the explosiveness. I get my shoulders able to actually handle the force of the weight plus me jumping, then I'll really start to move some big weight with the axle and log press. Okay. I want to be clear that the advantage of the explosive power and everything that's gonna translate into, hopefully, showed because there's a whole long list of athletes who have benefited greatly from using dynamic effort method. Like I said, where a lot of people think about West Side and they think about bands and chains, but that's not what it's about. I think this, with the maximal effort method, is what defines West Side Barbell. And the effect that I'm talking about is just doing speed work. It's really underrated. So even if I didn't have these chains on, that's what I'm talking about. It's not about the chains. It's about the explosiveness off the box. You hear that? Like the explosiveness of that motorcycle. More said that. And the thing is, one can apply more force than is actually on the bar using, if you go hard enough. So that's what the whole intention of the dynamic effort method is that you can move a lighter weight at a faster speed, and that will actually produce the same amount of force as a maximal effort lift. So this is a way of getting a sort of max effort stimulus and activation in some ways. Guess I gotta not be attached to how fast I'm moving it right now. However fast it moves is however fast it does. It's explosively as I can do in the present moment. straps before. Kinda not liking them so far. Just saying. My other one's in the car. Truck, cart, whatever you want to call it. Right. I'm assuming I'm just warmed up enough. I kind of don't like doing. It's weird doing speed squats and moving this. Right. Especially the first one. Right. Sure how I feel about my deadlift position at the moment. Also not sure how I feel about 1 minute rest times. today. All right. So I called it there at the end. After that third set of 5x5, third set of 5 sets. I can't speak. All right, so I called it after that third set of 5 reps at the deadlift, almost failing it, and basically I try to treat myself as I would try to treat a client if I was training them, and basically knowing that if this is the first week of a wave and I'm failing on set 3, I'm at 75%, and next week was going to be 80% and 85%. It's better to start fresh. You don't want to start fatiguing yourself and pushing yourself right away. So I'm gonna see what I'll do with that situation. But that's not a this week problem. So we're gonna finish with some reverse hikers now. Not finished. This is the first set of my accessory work. Got a lot more to do. Sometimes I do this exercise fast, sometimes I do it slower. This is kind of in between. Trying to slightly hold or pause it at the top for a fraction of a second. Great exercise for your hamstrings, lower back, glutes. Essentially all the posterior chain and the deadlifting, squatting, primary muscles. Only exceptions that it doesn't build are gonna be the quads and your hip abductors. Might add more weight. Just go slower. Maybe I'll just go slower. Different exercise like that.